Yo, what's up, guys? It's Talon. Today we're going to be coaching a Master Zed player. So he's a little bit newer to the game. I think he's been playing for about 80 days or so. He said something like that. I coached him one time before, and basically what we're going to be talking about here is a lot of spell tracking, kind of understanding when to go in fights, and target priorities. So a lot of this relates to how to get better at fighting on an assassin once you've become a little bit more efficient, once you understand when you should be farming and where you should be on the map. There's also definitely tips in terms of where to be past 11 minutes and a lot of those typical things you'll see from most players. If you guys are interested in getting coached by me, a rank 1 solo queue player and a 5-role sovereign in solo queue, DM me on Discord Talon1169 or through the link in the description to my Discord server. It's $25 for an hour of coaching. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Yeah, I'll start recording. So, how's it gone since last time?
Oh, I improved a lot, my friend, because of you.
That's good to hear.
I actually focus on farm more, like rather than fights,
Yeah, glad to hear that. We'll see what goes on this game. But is there anything specific you feel like you need to work on, or kind of like problems you've been having, or anything
Yeah,
like that?
yeah. You know the tunnel vision when you fight, like
Mm-hmm.
you cannot see the map, right? During
Yeah,
the fight, what do
yeah.
you do in that
When
situation?
you
Like if
can't see the
somebody
map.
you're fighting, like for example, the bot lane, you're ganking, but you didn't. Yes. What? How can you manage both the map and fighting at the same time? Like,
Like, how do you balance like farming and
how-
ganking, or what do you mean exactly?
no, I mean
Like paying
like
attention
you
to the
don't
map
see,
while
for
you're
example.
fighting.
Yes, that's it.
So like say like you're fighting like you're ganking bot lane, and you mean like how do you like also know where like enemy jungle is if I'm like in a fight right now? Is that where you're kind of like that type of thing, or?
Yeah, the jungle, maybe the mid
Yeah.
lane is rotating, or like, how
I
can
mean,
you
while you're
like?
in the middle of a fight, like generally you're going to be focused on that fight. You're going to lose some level of information when you're focused on something. Like you can't, humans can't actually really multitask. So you will, like, if say you're, ulting Misfortune and you're like attacking her in the middle of the game, you're probably going to struggle, to like also pay attention to what's going on the opposite side of
Like,
the map.
can we like
So yeah.
can we do like deducing, like for example, like we do like if this then this, like some like in
Mm.
the mental aspect of the game,
I'm trying to understand exactly what you're trying to ask me here. Not entirely sure I understand. Um,
like what the best players do, like for example, like the best junglers, like
yeah, I mean, while you're in a
this deep
fight,
question.
like while you're in a fight, you're going to be focused on that fight. It's what you're taking in before and after that fight. So like, say that I'm approaching a fight against Misfortune. I should have taken in the information before the fight starts of where the enemy jungler is, if the mid laner is missing or whatever. As I'm actually fighting, I'm going to be focusing on clicking my buttons properly in my mechanics. I'm going to lose some level of sight of where the enemy jungler moves for the next 5 seconds. And then as soon as the fight is over, like as soon as I, teleport out as Zed, like back to my shadow, then I'm immediately going to look back at the map again. So it's just about shifting your focus. It's not about like keeping track of both at once. It's before and after the fight, you're paying attention to the map and to everything going on. And then as you actually are in the fight for that brief period of time, you're more focused on the intricacies of the fight, like spell tracking in the fight. Do the enemy have these cooldowns? Which person am I going to target? That kind of thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so you're telling me you lose vision for like a momentary time, like
Yeah, you
in
will.
5 seconds, then you have to go back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
this is
not
my
really a way
struggle
to
right
avoid
now.
that. So yeah.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
yeah, makes sense.
Okay, cool. And then here, there's a good jungle player named Corrupt. He's like the best Zed you'll ever really watch. I can link you a stream at the end if you want, but the reason I say that is because your jungle clear, you're not really kiting the camp properly, and then you try to like try to queue both, but the minion's not kited. So you need to make sure you're kiting out this minion. So like in between the blue buff autoing you, you walk closer to the Gromp, and then you go and tank it once it's going to auto you again, and then you walk closer, and so you can bring it to the edge, and then you can queue both. Does that make sense or no?
Yeah.
Okay.
I tried
So
to do it here, but it
yeah,
didn't
I can
follow
see you're
me.
trying, but it's because you didn't kite it far enough back.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
the hitting animation, it stops. You have to like walk
Yeah,
before
so
the
right after it
animation
hits
hits.
you, you walk back, and then yeah, you just kind of do that. And that's why I said you could watch like Corrupt, because watching how he clears it like kind of makes it easier when you see a visual example. And I mean that might honestly be what
Actually,
we
you know,
do for the second part of
when
the
I watch
coaching is.
Corrupt,
Yeah.
he went over my head. I didn't understand his way of thinking.
Well, then
Yeah,
maybe we
because I'm
can
stupid.
watch one of his. Was it you that I watched part of his game with, or was that someone else? I don't remember if it was you last time. Because there was a
No,
Zed
no.
player. There's a Zed player I went
Yeah,
over
yeah, me.
part of.
It was
It was
me,
you.
yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, yeah, because you said you didn't know what you wanted to do for the second part of it, so we could do that, or we could do something else based on what we talk about to see kind of what, because you only have one game here, but we'll see. But other than that, it's fine. Again, the clear could be a little faster, which is just something I would just watch, top players do. I think that's the easiest way, and just go and practice in practice tool. Like, you know what practice tool is, I assume?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so like go in that. Also, really small thing, but you want to switch your auto attack onto the higher health minion when you're killing 2 small minions. Because your actual auto will do more, and then like the cleaving part that does like splash damage sort of will do less damage, so you kill it a little quicker. Whereas you see how you killed the big one, like you kill the one with less HP first, so then this one is gonna die a little sooner. It's a really small thing, but it's just something to keep in mind. Other than that, you're doing a good job of paying attention to your lanes. And yeah, you kind of see them going in, so like you definitely want to. Again, small thing, but you could have walked. Like if you walk behind this thing, then you'll bring it to the you'll bring the scuttle the other way. Do you know what I mean? Like when you walk at the scuttle, it moves away from you. So if you went behind it here, where my cursor is, then it would have started walking you to the dual lane, and you can see dual lane fighting, so you want to be going there first. Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah. I wanted level 5 before I can engage.
Yeah, and it's good to want level 5. What I'm saying is if you went to the other side of it, you could have started hitting it and making it walk towards the dual lane, so you could gank the dual lane, because the dual lane are the ones that are fighting and further pushed up, so it's going to be easier to fight them. That makes sense? Because you see how you went here, but then you had to walk longer, so then it's like you're not able to get there in time. So. And then here, I mean, it's not bad, but Akali has Shroud, which kind of is just like the spell tracking thing. Like a different way you could approach this is playing more around just walking initially rather than using all your cooldowns as soon as you go on her. So like, you're not currently in vision if you walk up here unless this guy will see you. So then you're able to bait her back once she does see you, or you're able to get the jump on her initially and then ult and still have your W to follow after. And then additionally, you can bait out her Shroud. And then if she shrouds, like say you walked at her, right? If you walk at her, she's going to Shroud, right?
You mean the ghost or whatever, the smoke?
Yeah, like the smoke.
Mm.
So if you walk at Akali, she's going to do the ghost stuff. And then, so say she did it. Like look how right now, she currently has it, right? Say you just walked at her and you made her do this right here. Then you could be spamming your ult if she ever goes out of it. Like as soon as she goes out of it, you hit your ult on her then, and then you follow her, and then you second ability, and you'll be able to kill her. But instead, she's able to flash out of here, and then you're not able to catch up to her because you don't have your second ability because you didn't just straight up walk at her. You know what I mean?
Okay, what if she does the smoke, then out of the smoke she flashes? So she get more like away.
Yeah,
what can you do in that situation?
You would have your ult and your W, so you'd be able to follow. Because what I'm saying is you would walk at her rather than Wing right away, so that she has to use her Shroud, and then you would have your W to follow her.
Yeah, makes sense actually.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
You get the kill on him though. It's good, and I like that you're looking to push the lane.
Look the farm. Look the farm. You see that?
What about it?
I took the farm. Before I was going like leaving without any farm,
Yeah, and you should take it all.
Gold.
You should take all of this because
really?
right now there's 6 minions. There's 6 of your minions, which means it's going to push into the enemy. So if Yasuo recalls, he's going to lose these minions. Like not all of them, but he'll lose multiple. Like look, you see how that one dies, and then that one's going to die, and Yasuo is going to lose them. So it makes more sense to get the minions for yourself because Yasuo is going to lose them all. Like look right now, like by the time Yasuo gets there, I mean, you're probably not going to show the map, so it'll be maybe hard to see, but there's only maybe one minion left there. So like those minions you would have gotten, and instead they just die for nothing. So the reason you wanted to get them is because the minions were going to die. Obviously, if the minions weren't going to die, then you'll let your teammate get them because we're before 6 minutes. That make sense?
Yeah. You lose gold.
Yeah.
You should have gone to the camps. It's way
Yeah, exactly. So 3 main things so far from the first 4 minutes
better.
is your jungle clear. Again, just practice that more so you can get faster with your jungle clear. You could put the scuttle, like go behind the scuttle so the scuttle walks towards where you want to gank, like the bot lane there, and then make sure that you're understanding how your abilities interact with the enemy. So Akali W, which is the smoke thing, like that, making sure we wait for that to come out before using most of our spells on her, because otherwise she's just going to go into the shroud and then we can't, auto her or anything. So we wait for that to come out and be more patient with that. Those are kind of the 3 main things so far. And this is
you will see a lot of examples of what you said. You will see another example here. Look.
Yeah. So it's the same thing.
Look. Look what I did.
Yeah, you
look
walk
what I did. Look.
into the shroud, like just leave, like, and
That's
then you go
stupid,
even
man.
further forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I try to like do some outplay, but I couldn't find her. She's.
Yeah, and again, not only that, but you also don't have your ult. Like, even if Akali didn't have Shroud there, she's level 7, you're level 6, so she has more resistances than you, more AP than your, like, she's just stronger than you. So she's stronger than you, you don't have your ultimate, and she has her invisible spell. So, like, you can never kill her here, and you need to understand that and just go to your farm. Like, right now, you have a camp up. You can just go do your camp, and then once your camp is cleared, the 11 seconds are going to be gone. Now you have ultimate. Now maybe you can look for something, So you want to play more around your ultimate and play more around her spells as well, be aware of the shroud.
So in that situation, you wouldn't have gone in if you were the Zed player, right? You would have gone to the farm?
I mean, like, okay, like, the most you could do, I wouldn't go in at all, but the most you can do, like, it's fine kind of to walk here. Like, this is whatever, because your camp, you're walking towards your camp anyway. Maybe, throw a little bit of poke here, and then just W out. Like, like you W in, I would just W out. That's really the biggest difference. I wouldn't really walk at her initially anyway, but if you want, like, I'm not going to flame you for it, you can look for, like, a first strike proc, but then you just W out. Do you know what I mean when I say W, by the way? I just want to make sure you...
Yeah, I played LOL. Don't worry, my friend.
No, gotcha. Yeah, some people, they haven't. I mean, I've never played League. I just learned it anyways.
Actually, I prefer WQ. I hate first ability, second ability, whatever. This cringe stuff.
I literally don't play PC. I have never played PC League, and I say QWER because it's just easier. So, like...
Yeah, my brain coordinates. Yeah, we are the same wavelength, my friend.
And then again here, just farm up to where you're going. Like, farm your red buff and then be looking. Don't just like instantly go and spam when you have 3 camps up. Like, this is once again just... We're going and trying to force a fight when, yes, it may work, but we can farm up to this and then a play can happen anyways. And instead we end up chasing a kill. When again, we're going to be able to come here, 20 seconds from now after we've cleared our camps and do the same thing. Not the end of the world, but just want to farm up to what we're doing rather than just walking straight towards a play.
I tried to help the laners.
Yeah, what's up?
I tried to help the laners push a little bit,
Yeah, after the gank works out, it's good to help the laners push. For sure. Again, the bigger issue is just that we need to value the farming initially here, and then farm up to where we want to make a play. But other than that, it's all good. Other than recall, go top is good.
Do you see an improvement, like from last time? Macro-wise?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I can see like you're valuing, like I think like your efficiency is really quite good. At this point, like you're farming pretty much all your camps. Like right now, this is your 5th quadrant that you're clearing, which is how many quadrants we should clear by the time the objective is spawning. So you're like very nearly to the point that your efficiency has improved a lot. The issue with you now, I would say right now, is some of the fighting things, like the sort of with the Akali, like that shroud mistake happening multiple times. We need to pay more attention to these types of issues.
This one of the issues like I'm facing right now. I don't know all the interactions, like between like what champion can I face, like when should I go in, when out. I have to like practice by action, like going.
I think you're a little newer to the game, right? So it kind of makes sense.
80 days. 80 days.
80 days, exactly. So you're a lot newer to the game, so it makes complete sense that these are going to be your issues. They're completely natural issues to have. couple interesting ways to improve this. You know, it depends on, like, say you are kind of tired. You know, you don't really want to play a bunch, or you just want to like relax. You could play some ARAM. Like, genuinely playing ARAM, you're gonna play new champions. You're gonna see new champion
Cringe.
abilities.
Cringe. You
What's up?
cringe. That's cringe.
Yeah, I know. I don't like ARAM. Like, I hate ARAM. That's not how I learned. So to be clear, you don't need to do this. But playing ARAM, you play other champions, you learn how they work, and learning how the champions work and
Or,
playing them is
play
good.
Viego. Viego is good.
Play Viego, yeah. You see me playing a lot of Viego lately. Yeah, you
Yeah.
play Viego to learn the champions, or like again, you could just lock in a champion, watch a video on a champion. You know, you don't even have to play it. You could just look up Wild Rift, Lee Sin, and just be like, okay, this is how Lee Sin works. Or read the abilities. You know, there's a number of ways to do it, and whatever is fun for you, whether it's playing ARAM, whether it's playing them in ranked or PvP, whether it's watching a video on them, or playing fucking Viego, yeah. Like, whatever it is that works for you, it's totally fine, but at some point you kind of have to gain this additional understanding of the champions, and also, again, just by playing more. Like, the more you play, the more you, because now you fuck up into this Akali a couple times. The next time you play into Akali, you should be aware of this, right? Because you're getting punished by it
Actually,
multiple times.
that's funny. That's funny you say that, because the next time I faced Akali, I waited for her smoke to go. Then I went in. Yeah,
Exactly.
I know, because
So that's the type of thing we just keep learning through experience. And so definitely for you, since you're newer, playing is probably just the easiest way to go about these types of things. And then farming up is fine here. You know, we don't have anything we have to really do. We can go to Herald when we want, but
would you fight this or no? Let's see.
not after he dies. I mean, it's fine to like,
Yeah.
it's fine to hover.
Look,
this,
I didn't see his health because he wasn't under his ultimate or whatever in his realm
you can
of
look. You
ghost.
can look here.
I didn't. I was focusing on Garen.
Yeah, that makes sense. But yeah, you can look there in the future. I get it's kind of a weird habit to have, but you see where my cursor is, right? I just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
But small,
yeah,
tiny stuff, you know.
For sure.
Getting the action, it's like, yeah.
So the bigger issue here is, again, how you play the fight. Like, Garen is a tanky champion. You're not gonna one-shot Garen, and yet you're going in to ult him. So like, you want to play this fight slower. Like, for example, instead of waiting until he gets out of the Mordekaiser ultimate, walk out and just start poking the Garen. You know, like just hit him a bit. You know, proc your first strike, get some damage on him, because then he's gonna be distracted by you. Instead, you see how he doesn't even know you're here. So your Mordekaiser gets one shot by Garen because Garen's not even thinking about you until you go out, and then you go on a level 10 Garen as level 8 Zed with your ult. Like, this doesn't make sense. So the issue is not that you chose to take the fight. The fight is fine, but you need to be poking and trying to get Garen a little bit lower. Use one spell rotation. When a spell rotation is basically using your basic abilities, like, use all of those, wait for them to come back up, and then now you have your ult plus your full combo. You can kill them now. But when you use only one spell rotation on a tank, you're never going to kill them. So what's important to understand about playing these assassins into tanks is you're playing, and even into Akali, again, you're playing patient, you're poking out with your spells initially, wait for your spells to come back up a second time. That's when you're usually going in with your ult or like making an actual play. That makes sense.
But he might have killed me. If he focused me, he will kill me before if I went out of the bush
here. You think Garen is going to kill you when you have flash, ultimate, and your full health? Is that what you're telling me? I just want to make sure that's what you're telling me.
I mean, close at least. Then I will be the main. Okay, he would have gotten.
So I understand what you're saying. You have look, you have flash, ultimate, W. So you have 3 ways to get out, right? And if he does get you low, who's not going to die on your team?
Mordekaiser, right?
Then your Mordekaiser won't die. And then your Mordekaiser will hit Garen, and then you will win because you'll be 1v2 like against him. You'll be 2v1 against him. Because you're not going to get one-shot by Garen. This champion's not going to one-shot you at 6 minutes in the game when you're full health and you have all these escape tools. And now he's not going to use them all on your Mordekaiser.
You know what I'm thinking right now? I know it's stupid, but out of the box. You know, like, can we do like, can they have like a practice mode where you go through the same scenario and repeat again? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, that would be great, man. Yeah, you repeat the scenario 3-4 times to check the best option. A, B, C, like this.
No, that'd be cool
that would be improving a lot. Yeah, I think so too.
Does this scenario make sense though, or do you have more questions about?
No, makes sense actually. Now I think about it, maybe I should have poked him earlier.
Yeah, I mean, and this is again just how I want you playing these fights, because you're into an extremely tanky comp. You're not going to kill most of these people with one spell rotation. especially not until you're hitting like Grudge. You know, like hitting Grudge is kind of like a big power spike here in general. But other than that, you know, you're not really going to be able to do that much when they're full health. So you have to be more aware of that. And then, yeah, it's fine to just kind of reset after this. You're probably not going to end up getting the Herald now because you don't have ult, which is fine. Because, again, taking that fight was fine. It's just the fact that you played the fight in a different way, you know, than we would be able to kill. And so we can just go back to red side value or farm. We don't really have to
You know,
force a
actually,
Herald.
one of my way of thinking, engaging the fight, I try to be as safe as possible. You know, like
Yeah.
mitigate the most damage taken. I don't know how to explain it. Like, do you understand me or no?
Yeah,
Sorry,
just play
my
safe
English.
in the fight. No, I understand. Like, you're playing safe in the fight. I mean, as an assassin, you want to be safe and patient and kind of wait to be able to go in until people are low health or poked out. And that's why I want you to approach these fights in this way, where you're playing more for poke initially and then going in later. Whereas a lot of times you are ulting in, like on the Garen, for example, right away, or onto the Akali right away before she uses her second ability. So, like, these are the issues that you're kind of having. So, yeah, I understand what you're saying.
So you're telling me I have to basic attack and then third ability, first ability, or QE like this. Use my abilities, then use my ultimate after, right?
It
Like,
depends on the
be the
scenario.
front line.
I'm saying that I
Some
want you doing
situation.
this. I'm saying I want you doing this into like a full health Garen or a full health tank or into a full health Akali with second ability. If it was the Misfortune that you're doing it on, you can often click ult on Misfortune right away and one shot her because she's going to be one shot. But it's not going to work
Yeah,
into a full health tank. So
makes sense.
yeah. And then here I would go and push topside after. Like there's a lot of gold to get topside. There's like 2 full waves that you can get topside right now. And instead, again, you're chasing the Akali with Shroud once again, right? And this is kind of where the issue comes
Yeah,
in.
yeah.
Now,
Look. I made
this
big.
time it works though. It's just, you outplay her, luckily. And so it's a good
Yeah,
outplay,
Look,
obviously.
look, look. I have to play.
No, and that's
That
great,
was
right?
I felt like Faker for 1 second. Just kidding.
Yeah. No, I was a really good play. Like mechanically, you played that very well. But again, the
Yeah.
issue that I'm concerned with is the approach to it, right? I'm not concerned with whether or not you outplay, because sometimes you're going to outplay, sometimes you're going to get outplayed. That's just reality, right? Like, it's okay. That's same with me, same with anyone. But the problem is, again, you had a bunch of gold topside here. If we look at the scenario, you had 2 waves to get topside, right? There's a wave right now that you can see on my screen, on my cursor, and then there's the wave that's about to come, because if your wave is right here, that
Did
means
you
their wave
remember
is
the
right here.
tunnel vision I told you about at the beginning
What?
during the fight? Did you remember when I say tunnel vision during the fight?
Yeah,
Like we
this is kind of
can.
what you're talking about.
That's what. Yeah, I was in that vision or the bubble or whatever it's called.
Yeah, no, tunnel vision. Yeah, that's the phrase. And I can see that. But you can see now, like, after you won this fight, you had the opportunity to get a lot more gold elsewhere. And we always want to be looking where we can get that guaranteed gold and then going for the fight after. Whereas, again, yeah, you're chasing here. And also, small thing, mechanically speaking, you played this really well, but the main issue is, so she has her E on you. She's obviously going to do what she does right here. And if you're spamming your ult, and I saw you were spamming it, but then you stopped, and so then you don't ult, like you can ult to stop her damage. Like as she's here, if you keep spamming your ult right when she gets around here, your ult will go off and then she won't hit you. Does that make sense?
I want to give her a chance to think that she can kill me, then I outplay her.
Yeah, no,
That's
I
the
respect that.
montage, my friend.
Yeah, that's pretty alpha. I respect that. I respect it.
Yeah. Nice.
Yeah. And
Can I
then
ask you, my friend, like, how old are you? You're same age as me, maybe 25?
I'm 20.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. You should be in college right now, right?
I am in college. Yeah, I'm in my dorm room right now.
What the? Okay,
Yeah.
what do you study? I study geology, my friend.
Accounting.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Good
not
luck.
geology, not a school. Sorry. Do you work in like something with geology now?
No.
Oh, okay.
I
Gotcha.
changed my major. I went to petroleum. I'm
Oh, okay.
with the. Do you know about the
Like oil?
offshore stuff? Yeah, oil stuff. Yeah,
Oh,
we get oil
gotcha.
from the ground because of geology. We studied this. Anyways,
Yeah.
let's focus on that. Let's see what I did here. Look,
Yeah,
would
this
you
is
say
good.
that a good ultimate or not?
Yeah, for sure. I mean, you're
I
using your abilities to flash
flash.
on her and kill her. Of course, it's good. Yeah, exactly. And you take the wave after, which is good. I like that you're like looking for the
Yes,
wave after.
yes.
Um,
This is your
yeah.
brain. I remember. I see the wave. I see the name Talon written on top of the waves.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. And then you go and get all the camps. I'm fine with you also looking for the brief fight here. And again, this is what I want. Like you see how you're poking her out in the fight, and then you're waiting for your ult to come up. It's a lot more patient this time around. And then now you can go in with your ult if you need, but you don't have energy, and the enemy are obviously backing off. So this is fine.
Look,
Then,
look
yeah,
here.
you just go cover the wave.
Here is the worst mistake I've made in my life. Look, just tell me. For fuck's sake, man.
I mean, again, like you're
She out-
valuing the fight when she has Shroud
Look.
rather than valuing the wave. Like your purpose of
She
going
got it.
there is just to get the wave, you know?
Yeah, we got 1-on-1 right now. She beat
Yeah.
me.
And again, so I think one of the more important things to note as well is not just that you died there, because obviously you can tell that was a mistake. You don't need me to tell you that was a mistake. What's important to learn is, so you've now made this mistake 3 times to her, right? Where you
Don't
ult
worry,
onto
I'll
her.
repeat it.
Yeah, you ult onto her when she has her Shroud. And you should, after the first time you make a mistake in any game, you should be thinking about that and then not doing it again. So it's like, yes, I don't really mind that you made a mistake into Akali initially the first time because you didn't think about it and you're newer to the game. But if you make the
What do
mistake,
you-
yeah, go ahead.
What do you call this type of learning in English? Like if you make mistake, you cannot repeat it. What do you call it? Like learning by mistakes, learning by pain, learning by what? What type
I
of learning
don't-
would you consider?
I mean, it's just learning through experience. I don't know if there's a specific phrase that I can't think of, but it's just learning through experience, like trial and error.
Yeah.
Trial and error, I guess, is what they call it.
Yes, exactly. Yes, this one.
Yeah. So that's pretty much what it is. But the problem is you're running a trial, an error is occurring, and then you're running the same trial again and again. Like you've already ran a statistical test to tell that.
You know,
is
some
not going
people
to
are
work.
stop learning after 100 times. Some people
Yeah.
1 time.
Exactly.
My
And
brain
it's
is
totally-
20 times.
And that's something you can actively think about in the game. Like you can actively think about like, okay, I went into this fight. How did the fight play out? What do I need to do differently? Like what made that fight go bad? Like if you actually were thinking, like sitting there and thinking about the fight, I'm sure you would have been able to tell me what went wrong in that situation. It was pretty straightforward. You went on Akali, you can't kill Akali. Okay, I'm not going to go on Akali now unless she uses her Shroud. I feel like that's something you'll be able to figure out in your games with these different, and it doesn't have to be Akali, it could be you can't kill a Garen until Garen, is poked out or uses certain spells or whatever, right? Or you can't kill Leona until she uses her second ability because it gives resistances and whatnot. So all of these different random things are important. And then also the Herald, you're the one with Herald. Oh, because your Herald just expires. So we didn't really talk about Herald usage.
Yeah. I try to use it for recalling as fast as I can to the base,
Yeah, and that's totally fine. You should be using it like that. You don't want to just drop Herald as you get it. You want to take advantage of the recall. But the problem is when it gets like this low, you kind of got to look to get it dropped pretty quick. You know what I mean?
Okay,
'Cause-
when is the best time to drop the Herald? Is it mid lane most of the time or like top lane or bot lane?
So
When
the
is the
general
good-
rule I have is the best thing to do with the Herald is to get a tier 2 turret. The second best thing to do is to use it to get a kill. So as in you use it to dive someone, you kill the turret and then you dive them because they're under the turret. The third best thing to do with it is just drop it mid, or drop it wherever you can take a turret. And then the worst case is you just drop it on the turret and it just hits it and doesn't kill it.
So if we have to make it in order, first, second turret or second tier turret,
Yeah, and we'll
then
just start the
killing.
notes. We can just start the notes right now, honestly, because like I'll write you the notes later anyway, so we can just write this quick thing. The one for Herald, best is to drop on tier 2 turrets. Second best is to drop anywhere we can dive. Third best is drop where it actually breaks the turret. Do you know how much damage it does?
1,500, I think.
Yeah, exactly. So if you see a turret around 1,500 or lower, it could obviously be like 1,700 because it'll still die eventually. But roughly 1,500, you can do that. Fourth is mid. Worst is side lanes. So basically, again, doesn't matter where, as long as it's a tier 2, that's the absolute best. Second best, doesn't matter where, as long as we can dive them after. Third best,
What about
doesn't
if it's
matter where,
tier
just needs to
3?
break the turret.
Tier
What's
3.
up?
Tier 3 turrets. Inhibitors, I mean.
I mean, you're never
We
gonna
want
get an
them to
inhib.
be-
Like that'd be pretty
Yeah, yeah.
insane. Obviously, that would
Yeah,
be
yeah.
best, but
Yeah.
it's really rare. That's why I didn't mention
Not
it.
realistic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But of course, if you can drop it on Inhib, of course, go for it.
No.
So yeah.
Actually, that's weird. Can we drop it on the whatever it's Nexus?
You could, yeah. There's like this thing. There's like these people, like these Chinese players who they like played, and it was like when the old Herald existed. But they would like play like Volibear, Rengar, and like their goal would be to end the game at like 10 minutes by just getting Herald and then just spamming one lane and then dropping the Herald on the Nexus and winning. Like that would be a thing people would try to do. Is like a sort of troll strategy that could kind of work sometimes. But obviously, it's not actually realistic.
That's funny.
Yeah, it is pretty funny, yeah. But yeah, again, the Akali kind of keeping track of those spells, and then I mean, I guess you can chase the fight quickly if you want. And yeah, this is the Herald usage, right? So dropping it mid at this point because it's expiring, like that's whatever. But you can see how you're not really gonna get much value out of it. Like this turret's already gonna die, so then you kind of want to like walk it and help get the tier 2 with it. I'm kind of fine with you looking for Misfortune here, though. You want to find a quick pick on her. I don't mind that at all. Yeah, one shutter. And she's kind of the best target for you this game, because obviously a lot of the enemy are very, very very tanky, so. And push bot. Okay, so this is, after you push bot, you like immediately want to leave. Normally, this is not a bad play to take the turret. Why do you want to leave immediately after pushing bot?
I disagree, my friend.
And you're wrong, but that's okay. That's what I'm here for. So tell me why you disagree.
Why? Tell me why first, then I will tell you why.
Yeah, because Baron is alive. So this is what's important to understand is when like this, what you're making, what the play you're making right now, it gives you additional gold, and this is valuable in certain points of the game. When your goal is to get as much gold as possible. Your goal from 0 minutes to 11 minutes is to get as much gold as possible. Your gold from 11 minutes onwards is to utilize the gold lead you got early game in order to progress the game through getting objectives. And so you still want to value farm. Yeah, go ahead.
Distract them from the Baron, my friend.
Well, they won't be distracted. They'll just go Baron and take it. There's no distraction. They can just go and take it. Like, not right now, because 2 people are dead, which is why it's okay to push 1 wave. But if you then push another wave, your tempo is fucked. The enemy can go to Baron, and they can sneak it. Now, they're not going to do it in low elo most of the time, but we're not, like, playing as though, like, because we're, like, Diamond Master right now. They're not going to do it in low elo, but I'm not concerned with, you know, making a play that only works against bad players.
What would you consider high elo, my friend? From Grandmaster above or Challenger above?
Sovereign or above. I consider everyone else to suck. And I consider half the Sovereigns to suck as well.
No way, man. How can I reach Sovereign if you speak? You're telling me I'm noob right now? Huh?
Well, so it's all about context and comparison. Like everything's relative, right? From the perspective, and this is, I'm not comparing myself to LeBron James, but from the perspective of LeBron James, almost everyone sucks at basketball compared to him, right? Like, does that make sense? Or like Messi, you know, in soccer, everyone sucks compared to Messi, basically. I know nothing about soccer, but I know he's one of the better players of all time.
What's your favorite sport?
I played hockey and baseball growing up, so those are kind of the sports I play.
You're a fighter. Oh my God, you fight every time.
Hockey and baseball.
Yeah.
No, I don't fight hockey, bro. I'm a bitch. Like, I'm like 5'7",
Yeah.
pounds.
People fight every day, man. I know this sports. I see them fight every.
See, my brother, he would be the, well, not really him, but like his team. He was like, some of them would be fighting, but like I'm a pussy. You know what I mean? Like, I'm just sitting there.
How tall are you? How tall are you?
5'7", which is not very tall.
Yeah, we're like same height. I'm 5'10", so we can be a team and beat the hockey players. Fuck them up all together.
I'm like 100 pounds. All right, I'm not gonna be fighting anyone.
What the fuck? Vegan?
Yeah.
Are you vegan?
No, I'm not vegan. I'm just fucking skinny.
Bro, what the fuck? I can give you training. I can give you eat. I do, like right now, I'm cutting weight. I'm like 180 pounds. I'm trying to reach 170.
I'm not really trying to gain weight, you know, like I'm kind of inside playing video games all day. I don't really need to, you know.
What the hell, brother? Use some physicality, man. You need it to think quicker, you know? It will give you like 0.2 seconds quicker, way faster thinking. Maybe you won't feel it now because you're 20. When you reach my age, then you will see everything slows down, man. Like time, yeah, fucked up, man. I know because I'm 30 right now. I've been through it. I know how you feel. I cannot let the game go because I used to play like 16 hours per day. Imagine.
Yeah, no, I exercise every day. I just do like basic stuff like cardio and things to just like be like stretching
no,
and be
cardio.
active. I'm not like
No.
lifting. I'm not like.
No, you must lift, my friend. It will help you in your 30s. You will
Yeah.
thank me later.
All right. All right. That's kind of a
Let's
funny
move on.
tangent. What were we were talking about? Yeah, because I was saying sovereign is the only thing and then I talked about LeBron James
Better
example.
compared
Yeah.
to relative.
Yeah. So it's all relative is the point. And so yes, I think you suck. Like that's just true. I think almost every,
Oh,
like why would you pay me money? Why would you pay me money to teach you?
okay, dude. Okay, I suck. Okay, thank you. I know that. Why I'm here.
Yeah, like why would you pay me if I did? Like I'm not actually saying I think you should be better. You've played the game for like 80 days. I've played for like 1,000, 1,200 or 1,200 days or something.
Okay, come to the gym. Let's see who lifts more. Come on, let's do it.
Exactly. If we're fucking doing lifting, like I'm gonna, I'm a fucking,
Actually, I can lift you. I can lift you. I can deadlift you. I can squat you, man.
Exactly. It's all relative, and it's all about the amount of hours you've put into something. Like when it comes to lifting, of course, I'm gonna look like an idiot compared to you, the same way that you would in Wild Rift. That's just natural.
Actually,
right?
when I started lifting 2 years ago or 3 years ago from now, I was like 60 kilograms. I don't know how much that in pounds. It will be like 150. Maybe better than you, but still skinny.
Yeah. Exactly. It's just it takes time. And that's why, like, I don't say this as like a negative thing. I'm not like insulting you when I say this. It's just like how it is. And that's how I view the game. It's like, I consider high elo to only be people who I consider actually good. And that's maybe half of the players who are sovereign max. I don't even consider a lot of sovereign players good anymore because of the systems problems in terms of people being able to climb with low win rates and whatever. So like, a lot of people are bad. And it's not always like rank that's the only thing that matters. Obviously, it's actually how you play in the game. And I think you've made improvements, and I think you have a reasonable understanding of the game for the amount of time you've put in. Like most of these things are completely reasonable. For example, this mistake I think you're making here. It's a reasonable mistake because you're valuing gold because you see my videos or other people telling you you want to value the gold on the side lane as well as a jungler and get as much gold as possible and focus on efficiency. But the thing that comes with a lot more understanding of the game is then understanding the context of like, there's an objective spawning. I don't want this objective getting, snuck on me. And once you've played enough, like you have, or like I have rather, you'll have had enough games where an objective gets sneaked on you when you're like, it's 11 minutes, 20 seconds, Baron spawned 20 seconds ago, and then you lose it because you're valuing gold. And so once you've had that mistake enough times, you're going to realize that and you're going to stop making that. So the point here that I'm trying to get across is once you're past the 11-minute mark, the Baron is much more valuable to you. So you only want to farm waves and camps that you know are going to not cause the Baron to be taken. So that's why this wave is fine. But the next wave, the enemy could sneak it because they'll be respawning at that point. Does that make sense?
Okay, I concede. You win. You win the argument. I'll give you that.
And it's not like an argument again. Like it's totally fine for you to have differing opinions as well. Just because I've played the game more. I'm sure you could talk to other people who are high elo and they may disagree in some cases. And that's fine. And the important thing is to engage with the argument, not to engage with the fact that I'm, better at the game. Because I could be better at the game and still wrong in one situation. It's just one situation. But again, as it relates to this situation, we want to be valuing the Baron. So even now, the fact that you're walking towards Dragon, you could be worried the enemy could be on Baron right now, but you're not thinking about that. And we want that to be in your mind, something to be thinking about. And then once we see the enemy support and jungle show now we know they're not, because obviously at this point we see the people. But we didn't see them previously and we weren't aware of that, so it could have been being sneaked on us, which would obviously be kind of negative, right? So does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then as it relates to this fight, you do a good job killing Misfortune. Still want to play the fight pretty slow at this point because your teammate is not here. But then you see a quality, so now it's kind of, yeah. And you do everything you should here. You play it fine.
You're funny, bro, actually. I think you have dark humor sometimes, man.
Yeah, maybe.
You make me giggle.
Yeah, I would say I'm pretty sarcastic a lot of times.
Yeah. Dark humor. I see your dark humor, man, on the streams. Small dick stuff.
Sure. No, I just like dicks, that's all, different. And this is good too, because you don't really have, this is good patience. Honestly, all you can really do here is ult Misfortune and then kind of leave.
I'm trying, look.
Yeah.
Look. I'm trying to reach her, but...
It's fine, you can just sit here and poke out the Leona. Yeah, this is fine. I mean, everything you like this fight, you played it properly. Again, though, you ult her when she has Shroud.
This is the mistake. Yes. I'm trying to... You know what? Can you stop? I will tell you what. It's ego thing. Fuck it. I'm telling you right now. I have to kill this bitch.
Okay. Alright.
That's it. Fuck this bitch, I need the gold. This is what I'm thinking right now. Fuck you,
Yeah.
Akali. I see fuck you on top of her name. Not Akali. Her name is fuck you.
That's fair enough, man.
Fuck you,
I
bitch.
mean, yeah, that champ can be annoying. I get it.
No.
But no,
Do you
I
feel
mean,
sometimes like
what?
ego stuff? You want to kill this guy because he kills. Yeah, it's like competition. I try to like tackle him,
Yeah,
he tackle me. Like it's like this is
yeah.
my thinking.
And usually that's what makes me play worse. Like, usually for me, it's when I play against someone who is a high elo player that I think I'm better than, and then he has a game where he gets strong from killing my teammates, and then I get annoyed by it, and then I play worse than him. So it's similar. Like, it's an ego thing, where I
Yeah,
then start playing worse because of that. So while I understand what you're thinking, this is going to cause you to, funnily enough, lose to the Akali more often. You know, having this sort of ego thing. So
so
being more aware
we
of,
don't have
again,
to
just
be
the
emotional.
objective factors is important. But what's up?
You don't have to be emotional.
Yeah.
Logical,
Yeah,
actually.
and it's easier
Use
said
your
than done.
brain.
We're all
Yeah.
sometimes emotional, but
We're
yeah,
humans. We're humans. We say like stuff sometimes, you know.
yeah. But being aware of it is good because it helps you kind of understand in the future how you can sort of try to prevent that. Again, you just, I guess she has stasis, so it's kind of unfortunate. Something you should obviously always try to check when you can is whether or not they have stasis, but pretty reasonable. And then I would pretty much just be resetting here, and then wait till alert. Like again, like instead of going
He will
this
kill me. He will
useless,
kill me.
yeah.
Yeah,
I
ego
mean,
stuff. Ego hit me
I
here.
mean, again,
Ego.
just reset,
Harmon-
because if you recall there, you're 1 HP, you'll get your item bot, and then you're also, your ult's gonna come back by the time you get back to the fight, and you can play again. But instead, you go in 1 HP, Akali kills you again. So pretty much your entire issue this game is Akali killing you over and over again, and it's because you're not keeping track of the specific spells she has, you're being overly greedy, like you said, some ego involved,
Ego.
and so yeah, there's really that as your biggest mistake, and then just general patience into these tanks, poking out the tanks, then ulting them rather than just going in on them right away. And then again, the kind of valuing the Baron more past 11 minutes rather than being too concerned. Like even here, go through mid, push mid out, and value the Baron side of the map. The enemy, if they get Dragon, but you're on the Baron, perfectly fine for you. Like you're getting way more
You know
value.
what I noticed? You know what I noticed in low heroes, or what do you consider low? I don't
Yeah.
consider myself low.
Yeah,
Anyway,
yeah, I understand.
when you actually go to the Baron, your team is not following you, my friend. Your team, four people on the Dragon. You alone in the Baron. Zed, what you do? Tell me what I do.
Yeah,
Tell me.
I will tell
I
you
kill
exactly
myself.
I'll tell you exactly what to do in this situation. So again, as I said, you want to initially approach this from mid lane, because if you get mid lane control, it makes it way easier to have control into any objective. Then through mid lane, you can get vision on Baron, right? So then you know if the enemy are on Baron or not. Once you know whether or not they're on Baron, you can choose to go and contest the dragon if the enemy or if the fight looks winning for you. So if you think that you can win a fight at Dragon because you're stronger as a team and you're in a winning position, then you can go and fight with your team at Dragon because you're winning, so you're going to continue to win the fight. If you're losing or the fights are really hard, like in this game where you keep dying to Akali and most of the fights are going pretty poorly and they're very tanky, which is hard for a champion like Zed, then you use the mid lane push to pressure the Baron. They see you go into the Baron side and oftentimes they come into you. Obviously, you got to spam ping, hope your team comes, and sometimes your teammates won't listen. But again, that's irrelevant because either way, you're controlling mid, and then you have the option to follow your team if it looks good, or to not follow your team if it looks bad. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but I don't know how to. Maybe I should have gone Baron, but
Well, what's more important than going Baron here is going mid. Controlling mid and having the mid control. So again, as we spoke about, past 11 minutes, Baron control is important, which means we want to control the mid wave and the Baron lane side wave, because those are the waves that actually allow us to get the Baron. So for objectives in general, mid control is most important. So even if you wanted to get Dragon here, you still want to control that mid wave. Nobody's going to come in from the bot side right now and like, fuck you guys. But from mid lane, if you have control of mid, you get control of the bushes and then you can poke the enemy out. Instead, look where you're approaching this fight from. You're just straight on the dragon, and then the enemy just walk into you and collapse on you because you're not with your team and you don't have control of mid. So the enemy just get to walk on you for free, whereas you could poke them out from the bush if you have control of the mid lane.
wow.
So whenever you're thinking about fights in general, and this is good target priority, by the way, this is very good by you. But whenever you're thinking about fights in general, you want to approach it usually from having mid control, and then use mid control to play the fights in a majority of situations. And this is good. You ulted. You're pretty much just waiting for your ult to come back.
Yeah, I'm
just poking
walking
them
from
out.
away. Yeah, I cannot go in. I know.
Yeah, and this
After
is
I
great.
died 20 times from my ego, then I decided to use
But
my
now the
brain a little
Akali
bit.
is dead, and so like here you are able to be
Yeah,
decently aggressive. But this is the problem. You kind of you don't wait till your ult comes, but it's still not
yeah,
bad.
yeah.
But you probably could have waited a little longer for ult to come. But either way, you get the kill. So it's mostly fine. Then just reset again. And again, go through mid after this, and then use mid control to go into potentially Baron or Dragon. It doesn't matter, but use mid control. So again, you walk straight into the Dragon, go into mid. Again, you see how you go side lane right now. This is when the enemy can do these types of sneaks on Baron because you're going to the side lane. You're taking control of the wrong part of the map, and then the enemy as well can get mid control. So we don't care about this side lane that much anymore, unless like there's nothing else to do. But instead now you're completely separated from your team here, and you have to find a way to get out. Whereas your team are completely other parts of the map. There's no reason for you to not just be pushing mid, using mid control, and then finding a pick from there. Instead, again, we're approaching the fight. Like you see how again you're fighting back in your jungle. You're getting stuck all the way in your jungle instead of having control further up, which gives you control of the objective and everything. So like the enemy are able to literally walk in your jungle for free. And then this is a situation where you could ult Akali because she just used her shroud. Now she uses stasis, so you kind of have to wait for stasis. But like now, yeah, exactly. And so this is exactly why Akali dies here, is because she used her shroud already. And this is, I don't think it
No,
was conscious of you, but this
she
is
was
what we want
ego.
to.
She was ego stuff. She want to kill me back.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's got that ego. So, and again, if we're
Yeah.
controlling mid right now, we value the Baron. This makes way more sense. Again, instead you're just coming from the bottom side again and taking this useless fight around the bottom side over an objective that doesn't matter. Like dragons are really fucking dog shit. I don't care about a dragon. Now you don't want them to get soul ideally, but it's just like a dragon. It doesn't really matter. Now at this point you win the fight. You're pretty low health. Probably just take the dragon after the fight because you chose to take the fight. So it's fine to take the dragon at this point. Then reset.
Wait. Go back during the dragon. Can I have taken the Baron at that time?
No,
Here,
really.
after this. I see you. So it was correct macro from me, right?
No, it was wrong macro, but it's when it was wrong. It was not wrong once you took the fight to then do dragon. What's wrong is the fact that you're concerned with the dragon so much initially. You need to be controlling mid wave here, and then using mid control to ideally go into Baron, but then as a consolation go into dragon if your team all just goes there.
Okay.
So instead,
okay.
Yeah.
If I did all of what you said, I pushed the mid lane and I tried to like make like how to say, I make the bushes with the wards with everything, but my team is not with me. What can I do in that situation? Tell me. You're in my shoes.
Dragon. Then you have mid control and you go into dragon with your team. If you know the enemy are not on Baron. If you know the enemy are not on Baron and you have mid control, you can choose either way. Because where is mid? It's in the middle of the map, so you can go to either side. It doesn't matter, right? Like you can go both sides. So if you're in mid, you have the ability to react to where your team goes as well. Because look where your team is right now. They're not all going to dragon. Your Yasuo's on top side. Your Mordekaiser's on mid lane. If you right now were controlling mid lane, your team has a realistic option to go into the top side and do Baron. At the very least, you get vision of it so you know the enemy aren't on it. And then you can go into the fight after at dragon if you need to. Does that make sense?
Actually makes sense. Yeah, makes sense now.
Build wise, I guess you get Maw for Akali. Probably want a cleaver this game. They're pretty tanky.
Yeah.
Probably like
I was
cleaver. But yeah.
Yeah. Ego for Akali, I told you. I was frustrated.
I understand. But Ma like last if Akali's fucking you a lot is fine. Now Akali shouldn't be fucking you. So if we're like in a better situation, you probably don't need that. You can grab like an Eclipse because they're pretty tanky, for example. Last item, but again, you don't really need the Ma because like Akali shouldn't be able to hit you very much because of how mobile you are. But yeah. And then also, I don't really think Gale Force is very good. I mean, I would get a Stasis or QSS. Like they have like Leona stuns and whatnot. Or just stop Akali from one-shotting you, get stasis. So
QSS, huh?
Do you know what QSS is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Quicksilver.
Yeah. So I'd get QSS for Leona stun, or I would get stasis for Akali, fucking me. Either is really fine. But Gale Force, I mean, you already have a ton of mobility. Like, is a little mini dash really gonna do much? I feel like no. And then again, as we're approaching the fight, where do I want you to approach the fight from? I'm asking just to make sure we're comprehending, right?
In the middle, of course.
Yeah, exactly. And so we can see this kind of consistently, and then you're always, and you see now, like, Akali has the control of the bush over you, which makes it harder to go into her. So, like, this is going to continue to be a problem for you. And then now you're kind of walking up here. I would honestly just target the Leona as your teammate CC'd the Leona. You're a bit too concerned with the Akali. Because again, you can't actually kill Akali until she shrouds. So just, she doesn't matter until she shrouds. You know, and then after, like, then you're trying to kill her. But you see how now, look at this, like, unintentionally you have control of mid, and now it's so hard for the enemy to walk, you know, anywhere. You guys all have control of mid. The enemy have to walk into you. It's so easy to poke them out from here. This is the type of situation you want to find yourself in more often, because then they just, like, can't walk up at you. So it's perfectly fine to just go on this mid wave, because there's another mid wave about to come, which you can tell since your mid wave's about to come. And you just control that mid wave, push it, then the enemy constantly are kind of screwed. And again, just, like, poke them out here, make it really hard for them to come into the fight. And then as soon as Akali jumps forward, you go on Akali, basically. Unfortunately, your teammates are kind of trolling by hitting it. This is not your fault that they're hitting the Elder Dragon. Caitlyn's a fucking idiot. And so that sucks, because you don't want to be hitting this.
You know what? This Caitlyn fucker, you know, I will tell you something.
Yeah,
this guy was the jungler, okay? She was the jungler. I was the ADC.
Yeah.
She told me, please, I cannot play jungle, please. Okay, I said, okay.
You switched roles with her.
Yes, I said, okay, but you better win your lane. He said, okay. 0-11 death. We're playing 4v5. Yeah, 0-11, no assist. What's this guy? Where is he playing? How is the same elo as me? Tell me.
There's definitely a lot of interesting people in the lobbies, so that's fair. But going back to going back to this, again, you're not going to win the fight by ulting Leona here. Like, you have to be ulting one of the key carries. Like, who's actually causing all these fights to be dog shit? Akali is fucking you guys. So it's like, we either kill the squishy champion Miss Fortune that we can kill for free, or we kill Akali. Which means you have to be patient and wait for her abilities. But instead, you see how you just ult the Leona here. Leona is just going to stun you.
No, I was trying to ult Akali, but panic ultimate here.
Well, even if, say you were trying to ult the Akali, it's also a mistake. Why would it also be a mistake to ult Akali right now?
She was under her whatever smoke.
Her shroud, yeah, her smoke. And she had crown as well. So it didn't make sense either way. Because, again, we want to target the Akali, but we have to wait for those certain Akali spells to go out. And so instead you go in, and this is why you end up getting, you know, one shot here, and nearly dying, and then eventually dying.
Regarding the crown, does it cancel Zed ultimate? Here we lost. Hala, goodbye. After this fight.
I don't actually know. I don't really play enough Zed to know for sure. If I ult, does it, like, if you ult when she has crown, does it stop your thing completely, or does it only stop the first point of damage? Like, obviously, if you just first ability her and then you ult right after, then it will do damage to her, obviously. But I don't know. To be honest, that'd be something to test. Yeah.
We lost. GG.
Yeah.
They got the dragon and
yeah. And so you only wanted to do one game, so we'll do this, and then we can try to see what else. It actually did take like a decent amount of time. We'll try to find something else to kind of get value from the rest of it. But initially we'll write the notes out. So do you see my screen?
Yeah.
And again, anytime that I say something that doesn't make sense, or you want it to be worded differently, or you remember something, you have a question, whatever, just interrupt me. Obviously, during any point during these. But initially we'll go to the early game. So the first thing early game was practice jungle clear, right? You just need to be faster with it. Watch Corrupt, watch whatever, High Yellow Zed. Practice it until you can get your full clear done in a similar time to what they can do. I say this, but I'm kind of lazy. I don't do that half the time, but you should do it. It's good to do. Do as I say, not as I do, I guess is the phrase. So there's that.
Yeah. Human stuff.
Yeah. Early game, I kind of want you to like gank mostly around ult timer. So like, you remember when you forced a mid gank on Akali, but you didn't have ult for 12 seconds, and she was level 7, you were level 6. Like, in that type of situation, we wait for her ult to come up. Obviously, we also don't want to fight when she's full health, and has shroud and whatever. But we want to be kind of aware of that type of thing. And also, if teammate is dead or recalling, and his wave will push and die to enemy wave, just take the wave. So the situation I'm talking about here, I'll just go back to show you. But it was like I don't remember exactly when, but you remember what I'm talking about
The
when
beginning.
Yasuo.
Beginning. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so
The
you
beginning.
remember, so I don't need to. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, like that situation when the Yasuo's wave was gonna push into them anyway and die, just take the wave. Be aware of that type of thing. Or if your teammate roams for no reason, these types of things to be important or are important to note. Other than that, early game, were there any other things we talked about, like early game, like first like 6 minutes? I'm trying to think. What other
Yeah,
stuff
we
we kind of
said.
mentioned?
Wait. Wait. Let me remember. Clear. We said about the clear. We said about the wait for your ultimate. Don't initiate the fight. The
Yep.
third thing. There are three things. Wait. Oh yeah. Don't engage with your second ability or W. Keep
Oh yeah, no,
something like this.
that was more depending on the situation, right? But in the situation we talked about, yeah, like you could have just walked at them. So often can just walk at enemy, the gap close, and use abilities to follow. And then that kind of relates to like a lot of the like better spell tracking, which basically
Oh yeah.
for
Tanks. Tanks. Hit the tanks with pokes before you initiate the
yeah,
ultimate or something.
poke tanks before going all in. And then I'll just write here better spell tracking, like wait for a call EW, right? That's kind of the big thing for this game. But there's going to be most games where essentially you just identify the key spell that the enemy have to escape, whether it's Lissandra ultimate, obviously, for like stasising, or whether it's, someone stunning me, like a Leona stunning me before I go in, or whatever. Wait till that goes away, then I go in. I don't go in before. Or like Leona W too, because it makes her way tankier. So understanding that type of stuff, which again, you can do just from learning the champions in a number of ways, but you should concern yourself with learning how the other champions work to have like a better understanding of the game. There was the cleaver thing, so like cleaver into tanks. Usually like fourth item, because you still want Cyrildas, you want your Trinity, and then you have to choose between Serpents or Yomus. But yeah, it's bad. Then past 11 minutes, you remember what I'm gonna say here?
Yeah.
What am I gonna say?
Push mid wave. Push mid wave. Oh no! Wait. Get the gold to buy the item, then push mid wave, and Baron lane. I
Yeah,
think.
so value control of Baron by having control of midwave and Baron lane.
Even if
rather
your
than-
team does not follow you.
Well, again, so what I answered this question. What did I say to do if your teammates still decide to go Dragon?
Yeah, you go dragon.
As long as you know what.
You're winning the fight.
That, and also the other thing I was looking for is the enemy are not on Baron. So value, first thing is value Baron over Dragon. Then the second thing is, if we want to go Baron, but our team does not follow, or our team goes Dragon, we'll say, push mid, then make sure enemy are not on Baron, then can go Dragon if it looks winning. So if you're already on the mid wave, your teammates go Dragon, and you see 3 of the enemies on Dragon, you can pretty much assume they're not on Baron. So I'm not saying you literally have to get visual confirmation that they're not on Baron. Just make sure you know where some of the enemies are and they're not on Baron, and it's like their damage dealers or their jungler or something like that. Just make sure that for whatever reason they can't do Baron, and then if it looks winning, fight the Dragon. If it doesn't look winning, your teammates die, fuck them, they're stupid. Like, oh well. So, does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, definitely I want your biggest focus to be the mechanical things, like keeping track of specific spells and whatnot. Actually putting thought into... Because again, I'm not concerned with the fact that you died to Akali when she had W once. I make those same mistakes every now and again. I forget about a spell, I do whatever, but the problem is then you did it 3 or 4 more times. And continued. Again, we said it might have been ego, might have been whatever, but for whatever reason, it kept happening, and so we got to be more aware of that. Other than that,
Do you care about counter matchup like this? This matchup is winning. This matchup is losing. Do I have to know this or no?
I mean, it definitely helps understand your matchups. it doesn't matter in terms of drafting. Like, you can one-trick Zed every game if you really want it. You know, like, I've had plenty of times. Like, for example, I one-tricked Jace for a long time, even though he gets countered by a lot of champions, and I would just win anyways. So it's not that you need to understand it for drafting. You need to understand what counters you, so you can understand how to play better into it. So, for example, Zed might struggle a little bit into tanks. Now, he doesn't struggle that much into tanks because of how his ult damage works, which is based on like pre-mitigation damage, so it still does a bunch of damage. I forget exactly how it works, but a Zed man told me. So basically, like, he's not actually bad into tanks. But into tanks, you want to change your build a bit, like the cleaver stuff, for example. You know, having cleaver fourth. So you might normally struggle into tanks as a Zed.
Zed passive after 50% low health, he gets like extra magic damage.
Yeah.
From his basic.
And I think it might be something else with how the ult damage is calculated, but don't quote me on that. But it doesn't matter. The point is, you can fuck tanks still. You just need to build a certain way, and you need to, again, play to poke them out, get a spell rotation or two off, and then ult in when they're lower, rather than what you're doing, which is going in when they're full health a lot of the time. So that's kind of the difference. But, so to answer your question, you need to understand why they counter you, so you can understand how you can approach that. So,
counter the counter.
Exactly. Like, why did tanks counter you? Why would you say that a tank counters you generally?
Because so much health and armor, you cannot penetrate. You need to use like armor penetration stuff.
Exactly. And so the way to approach that is, one, again, have as much percentage penetration as possible, which is why you're building Serylda's third and Cleaver fourth, because Serylda's gives you 33% penetration, and then the Cleaver is going to give you 24% armor shred. Now, they don't stack additively, they stack multiplicatively, so it's not going to quite do 57% pen, but we'll still do, you know, quite a bit. I don't know the exact numbers, right? But it's going to do a lot. Whereas if you build a bunch of flat pen items, which are like Youmuu's Ghostblade, because it only gives 15 flat pen, which means if you have 100 armor, it subtracts 15 from it. Whereas if you have 100 armor and you have Serylda's, it subtracts 33%, which is obviously 33, which is way more. But say you're into a squishy champion only.
What does Ceryl? What's this item? Ceryl's Grudge or whatever?
Serylda's Grudge is the item you built third, the slowing item.
Yeah, the blue stuff.
Yeah.
I call it the blue stuff.
The blue stuff, exactly. So the blue stuff is the third item, and that one is going to be very good in the tanks. The point is, again, what I want you to understand is, okay, so I asked you why they countered you. You said because they have really high HP and really high armor. So the best way to deal into a lot of armor is by having a percentage, you know, pen, which is why we have Serylda's and Cleaver. And then the other way to deal with a lot of HP is to poke them out before you go in so that they're not full HP when you go on them. Whereas if you go full HP, you know, on them full HP, you're never going to one-shot them, even if you're quite fed.
What about Eclipse? This Eclipse?
Yeah, you could go Eclipse fifth, as we said. You know, you could do that fifth. If there's like a lot of Heartsteel stackers, you can do it. But usually I wouldn't go it much earlier than fourth or fifth, because first item, you want your flat pen because they don't have much armor early game, which is why you go either Serpents or Youmuu's. Then second item, Trinity is really good for clear. Third item, Serylda's is just by far the best because of how much pen it gives you. And then from there, you're going to go Cleaver or Eclipse into tanks. And obviously into squishy champions, you'd go other stuff.
Why don't we go on the penetration? I call it, I know it's stupid, I call it the arrow pen. You know that one? Anti-heal for the...
Oh, Mortal Reminder?
Mortal Reminder, yes. Why no on the...
Because Mortal Reminder provides crit, and your champion doesn't utilize crit very well. And then additionally, passives with the same name do not stack. The Serylda's Grudge passive, the 33% armor penetration, is the same passive as the Mortal Reminder 33% armor penetration passive. So you can only do one or the other. You can't do both.
So the slowing item blue is also anti-heal?
It is, but in a different way. So it's not the anti-heal passive that is what's causing this. Wild Rift, Serylda's Grudge description. I'll just look it up. It's probably easier this way. And then
nice Mac, by the way.
Mac, yeah.
You're an Apple fan, I guess.
I'm a what?
Shame. Apple.
Yeah.
Sorry, this my 40 attacks.
I'm trying to find a part where it says the actual passive name, which is why I'm... Okay. So Last Whisper. So this is, I think that's what it's called. We'll see if it's the same here. So many ads. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
Use add whatever blocker.
Ad block. I don't care enough. If I get a virus or if I get whatever. So yeah. So we see here the unique passive is called Last Whisper, and this is the one where armor penetration, is based on level. I think now it's actually just perma 33% when you finish it, rather than being based on level. I might be wrong about that, but I think that's how it works now. But the point is, you see it's called Last Whisper on both of them, right? Both Serylda's Grudge and Mortal Reminder. And so because they're both called Last Whisper, they both have, you can't build them both. You only build one or the other. So the difference is...
Why they don't...
Yeah, go ahead.
They don't stack double whisper.
Exactly. Any passives with the same name will not stack. So like Black Cleaver and Trinity Force used to have the same passive, so they didn't stack, but now they changed it. So now they have different names, so now they stack. So does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. And then the only other thing, because you asked about the anti-heal, Serylda's Grudge is a weird anti-heal, because this is a new passive they added recently, where if you do 3 separate, I think, points of damage on people, or something like this, or 3 ability damage, I forget exactly which, then it applies this like new passive, and that one will do anti-heal. But it's not the same as Mortal Reminder, where Mortal Reminder, if you just deal damage to someone, I think with an auto attack, it'll do anti-heal on them.
Even with abilities, both.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that's kind of that. Trying to think about what else we talked about or other important things to note. So basically the point was the Baron stuff. We really want to value the Baron and mid control. So value mid control more. So I'll just write that again. Just value mid control to set up for objectives. Value mid control early game. You're generally pretty good. You're being relatively efficient. Maybe a couple times you could have valued a camp and then went to a gank, but you're overall pretty good about all that. I'll say just like value farming up to a camp, farming in a way that paths towards a gank. So like rather than you go and you just gank right away, you farm your red buff leading up to the gank and then you're walking there slowly. Or like when the scuttle happened, you remember where I said go to the other side of the scuttle so it gets pushed towards the enemy, because then you can gank them right after you clear scuttle.
Yeah, this is, we forgot about this one.
Yeah, so
Scuttle
that's kind of what this point is like farm in a way that leads you to a gank. Does it make sense when I read it like that, or do you want me to word it differently?
No, but do you actually, like, listen, I'm trying to ask you a question. Like, do you actually do all the stuff you teach during the games, or sometimes you try to like slip on and say, no, I'm not in the mood to do like the perfect stuff, because you're humans, we try to like sometimes do less.
No, definitely. Like there's times where I don't do something that I have told other people to do. And there's 2 reasons for that. So obviously there's a bunch of things What's up?
You don't follow your rewards.
Yeah, at times I don't. And that's just simply, there is so much information, right, that I'm giving you. Like I'm giving you 14 different points. I'm giving this guy 14 different. I've coached over 200 people and each, average 10 to 20 points. So that's like literally thousands of points of different things for people to learn. I've made thousands of videos on this game, or hundreds of videos on this game at this point.
But do you actually follow what you say?
That's what I'm getting to, is because there's so much information, so many different things, there's times where I forget about something, or there's something that is kind of counterintuitive to what I should be doing. So the first thing is sometimes I just make a mistake, right? Sometimes it's just like I forget about it, or I'm tilted and I do something dumb, and then I don't follow what I say, right? I do something that I shouldn't do. That's the first thing. The second thing is sometimes there are unique situations where, because of certain factors present, I have to go against a rule. So for example, I tell you, generally speaking, to value your farm and then gank after, right? Not to gank first. But there's sometimes where my teammate has a really big wave stacked and the enemy Kayle is level 4.5 and they're low health and they're really close to getting level 5. And if they get level 5, I can't dive them. But if they get if they don't get level 5, I can dive them. I can get my teammate 300 gold, or me 300 gold, whoever gets the kill. We get some assist gold as well, so 400 plus gold. We get the wave gold. We push it, we get a turret plate, and we get a bunch of value out of it. And so in that situation, I know it's nearly a guaranteed gank because of how low health they are, the fact that they're not level 5, the fact that, say, I have my flash up and I'm like a Vi or someone who's level 5 and can gank easily. All of these things in that situation, I might not follow my advice because there's something specific in that unique game that's making it different. So there's general rules I give you, and then you have to understand when you can deviate from those rules.
Exception.
Yeah, exceptions, exactly.
The exception will be the exception. Yeah. Oh my God, this game is too much.
Well, yeah, I mean, I've played like 7,000 hours of this game.
I thought I could reach challenger with ease, man. But fuck
you
it.
You can.
So
Riot Games will make sure you can. No, you can reach challenger. Like it's again, why do you think I tell you? Why do you think I tell you I think challengers are bad? Like that's why.
You're funny, brother. You're funny. You say the truth in a funny way. You say you can. What do you mean I can? I'm struggling 80 days. I cannot do anything. What do you say I can?
I mean, of course you can though. Like you've already in 80 days gotten master. That's like pretty decent timing. Probably faster than the average person is doing that. I would say I don't see any reason why within this season or next season. I would say next season is probably the more likely. I'd say this season you should be able to hit Grandmaster. Next season I wouldn't be surprised if you hit Challenger. But you have to continue to be working on these points and continuing to just learn through playing too, because you are newer to the game. So again, a lot of these things are not going to be entirely intuitive. Like for example, what I was telling you, all of these rules I tell you are the rules you want to follow 95% of the time. But the hard part, and the part that makes me a lot better than you, is not all these rules, but it's the fact that I know when to break those rules. And that's the hard part to figure out, and that comes with a lot of time.
This is what you're telling me should be your autopilot. This rules.
Your default should be this, and then there's times where you do something different.
Yeah. Basics. You have to follow the basics.
Yeah. And right now, a lot of your basics don't follow what they should. And then once you get your basics down, then you can start. So for example, the Baron situation, again. And I think, yeah, we'll just do this one game because it's been a while, and we just go into more depth. I think this is probably better anyways. But so this Baron situation, where I was telling you, again, value mid-wave and then go into the Baron. There's actually going to be a couple games where you're so far behind. So for example, we watch Corrupt, again, as a player I reference a lot because he's very, very good. We watch Corrupt play. Sometimes he's Nyla with a Lulu, and he is 10,000 gold behind, and his teammates are dead. And in that case, he might farm this bottom lane wave and then get this dragon with a gold bounty on it as the enemy goes Baron, because he knows he cannot get the Baron. So right now, your default is do what Corrupt did in that unique game, go to the bot side. But it shouldn't be your default. It should be something you're doing only, again, in a situation where they're so far ahead that you can't contest and you just want to get something out of it. So that's kind of like right now your default is wrong. Once your default's correct, then you can eventually find situations where you actually would do what normally wouldn't be a good play, basically.
Oh my God.
It's a lot of information. So...
You know what? I actually think you can be a teacher, man. I think you can be a good teacher one day.
I actually wanted to be a teacher. Like I love math.
Yeah, you're a good teacher, man. You know, actually one of my skills is knowing what people can be in their jobs.
But there's a reason I don't want to be a teacher, and it's the schooling system now. Like one, the schooling system in America is very, very poor. And then two, right now
you don't have you can be any consultant now, like for example buildings, you have to like you extract information in so much details, man. Your brain is mathematical, I'm telling you.
Yeah, I love math for sure. But I mean, there's consulting within accounting, maybe that's something I would go into. I'll see.
Yeah, you can be a good teacher, like a consultant, somebody you want to do like this stuff, details. You're good with details, man.
It depends, we'll figure it out. I'm 20. I got time to figure out what we do, but yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Do you have additional questions or things we talked about or anything at all? Because there might be some more things to go into.
Have you revealed your face on internet? No.
Well, like 2 or 3 years ago I did, but I haven't since then because my face cam was lagging, so I kind of just stopped. So
2 years. Do you have the videos?
No, I don't show my face anymore.
Okay, it's okay. Privacy, I guess.
Yeah.
You're funny, my brother. Okay, nice streams. Today you'll stream. I see your Viego is killing it, man.
Yeah, I'll probably stream today, I assume.
Do you have like regarding the code? If you want to leave, no problem, my friend.
No, I'm not in a rush. I'm gonna send you these, but yeah, go ahead. Continue to ask questions. I'm not really in a rush at all.
Do you like wait? Can you go back? Can we go back to the list of what you sent me before, like the notes before, to see if I check anything?
Oh, the previous one.
No, before. Sure. Yeah, the previous.
Are there any things in our DMs I shouldn't show? Here, you copy paste it into here. Just copy paste it into here. It's easier that way because then I don't have to stop the recording or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah, just do that.
Give me 1 second.
I probably could find them in my old notes, huh? Oh yeah, actually I found
Say
them
hi.
here. Yeah, they're right here. So
Copy.
here. Wait, actually, I think this is you.
Okay. I will put them. Wait.
Yeah.
Zed here. Tell me if you see any checklist.
Oh, yeah. So pay attention to laners, and if they're stacking wave early, be ready to dive with them. You were doing a good job of paying attention to your laner's position in different situations. The situation bot, like if we look the first gank that you were looking to do, again, you didn't have as much awareness of your lane as you should have here, otherwise you would have done the scuttle thing we spoke about. However, you were aware of it, like you were scrolling to them and whatever. Am I getting an ad? What is going on? Oh, it's weird. But either way, you were paying attention, so you're doing a decent job of paying attention to your lanes. So the first point I would say you're definitely improving on. So it's not bad. Focus on pushing waves and turret plates with our laners after a gank. You did this. You definitely did a good job of being more aware of lanes. Value kills less and guaranteed gold more. You're doing it. I think you could be doing it more, but you're doing a much better job of it. Push the waves more often. You're also being more aware of waves. Before fighting, make sure waves are pushed, camps are cleared. You spent your gold. Generally, you recalled pretty well before. There's one situation where you had Cyrildas and you still fought the dragon. I think it was it here? It might. But even here, you're resetting right before dragon. Generally, it's pretty fine. Yeah, and then this is where, like, maybe we would have wanted to reset once we get Cyrildas, but it's kind of hard because you don't really want to leave right as your team's fighting, so this is kind of fine to stay. So I would say, yeah, you've improved on the first, 5 points so far. Prioritize helping stronger laners, doing objectives around stronger laners. And there wasn't really a negative in terms of where you chose to do objective. You did your objective into Mord, who I think was kind of losing to Garen, but it was because your camps were up there. That was a fine choice. Before 11 minutes, the goal is to get gold for items. You did not really... Well, you did this point, yes, you did. But after 11 minutes, the goal is to push waves and have Proud to get Baron. This is where you made the mistake. You weren't really improving on point number 8.
Put me X. Can you put like some X so I know?
Point number...
Like some...
I'll just write it here. Point number 8 still needs to be worked on.
Yes.
Then Elder spawns in 19 minutes. I think I was just telling you because I think you thought it was 18, if I remember correctly. Value Elder first, then use Elder to get Baron. Again, there wasn't an Elder really in these games, or in this game. Can trade and get Baron. These again were more niche scenarios, not really something that's going to happen very often. You were kind of just asking questions, I think, about that. Focus the most fed person that is killable in fights. You didn't really do this, so focus on 12 point or on point 12 more.
Kali, yes. Yeah, Kali.
Yeah, Misfortune and Akali should have been much bigger priorities from you. But again, within you were fighting Akali a lot. To be fair, you were just fighting her when she had her shroud up.
Yeah.
So,
Ego.
so you were kind of aware of who you should be targeting. It's more of how you actually approach the fights. And then recalling before objectives, you also did this. So you've improved on nearly every point. Point 8 and 12, I would say, especially 8. I would pay more attention to. But other than that, little newer things with these other points. So I would definitely say there's a good amount of improvement overall.
Fast learner? Would you say I'm fast learner?
I think you're learning at a pretty normal pace. I mean, not fast or slow. Like, most of the time, I coach someone a second time. Most of the points seem to be fixed. So I would say it seems reasonable. Pretty normal to what I see normally, yeah.
Yeah. That's good, man. Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Can we do you have like do you have like a package deal for the coaching sessions? Like we can do 10 with like discount. Like for example, you say 25. Can we make like 100 for 5, for example? $100? If you want, like.
Every once in a like there's one girl who actually I coached her from like Diamond to Sovereign, and she gave me like $200 and was like, if I give you $200, will you just coach me when I want? And I was like, sure. It'll be $20 per. So yeah, if you want to do 5 for 100, that's fine with me. However, I would make sure they're at least 1 week apart. You know, so because you're gonna have smaller and smaller amounts of things to work on the more you improve. So I'm not going like the first 2-3 coaching sessions I do with you, I think I can provide you with a lot of information where you were telling me like, holy shit, there's so many things, right? And you're like overwhelmed. The more and more you do, the more I'm going to be watching you and I'm going to be saying, you did this properly. This was what you were supposed to do. And I'm not going to have as many like for example, I'll just go show you an example of what I mean. Like this guy, I coached him. He got challenger for the first time after we did some coaching. But now I think I've coached him 4 or 5 times, and now I only have like 7, really things to talk about with him, and I'm a lot more saying good things about what he's doing. So the thing I want to caution you with, if you pay 100 for 5 right away, is that you might feel like you're getting less and less value, the more you do. But it also helps you optimize for those more niche situations we talked about, where it's like you do the 5% of the time thing instead of doing what you're supposed to do 95% of the time. So overall, yes, if you want to do 5 for 100, that's fine. We can do that.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Man, I wish we can. No. I wish we can be together like in the same server, man. So you can carry my ass to Challenger, I guess.
Well, I play solo queue, so I
Can be
wouldn't.
your dude.
But yeah.
Yeah, you never play with other people, no?
Not for the last like 7 or 8 months. I've in the past, but not anytime recently.
Okay, your time is okay. We're at different time now. It's 7:22 p.m. in my area.
Oh yeah, it's 9:22
We're like
a.m.
12.
So it's very different.
Yeah. Okay, nice to meet you, Mr. What's your name? Talon? I call you.
My name is Talon.
I thought you're Talon from the champion. Talon, no?
No, it's my real name. I'm actually named Talon.
You're the Talon in the game sucks, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I agree.
Okay.
All right. See you later then.
Okay,
Good
nice
luck.
to meet you.
Yeah.
See you. Thank you.